What is up, the world? This headbutt of you is your friendly neighborhood subgator here, and today we have a brain in a jar on our head. And this is because, as the great and powerful Jassassin would say, IR brain words. We're doing something kind of dumb, and we're going to make a fix on it today. So here's what we've been doing. We've been using Steam to transmit, Tesseracts to transmit Steam from the mining world here to the 1.8, and then convert that Steam into BCs to use in our energy Tesseracts. Now, these are used for power throughout the base in several locations, but the most important place is this place right here. The quantum network bridge that feeds our AE system over to the 1.8.buzz is powered by BCs right there. So if this loses power, it is bad for the server. What will happen is if there's a lack of power, if there's a complete loss of power, it's actually not that bad. If there's a lack of power, like not enough, it'll cause the quantum network ring donut to pop on and off, to cycle on and off. It'll go on, off, on, off, on, off. This is terrible for the server. Absolutely terrible. So I decided that I want to make some changes. A couple of things that we've been doing that are terrible for the server. And we can't do terrible things to our servers. You can't do that. As a responsible member of your server, you know who you are, responsible server members. You can't irresponsibly destroy your servers. So DMAX said he's done some tests, and I talked about this before, that these are causing some problems on the server. They're causing a lot of tick lag. Now, it's not causing a huge problem as far as, look, I get a block. It's good. So we can't see a ticking sun, but it really isn't a ticking sun. But it's just causing a lot of a load. It's causing some load issues. So what I'm going to do, or what I have done already, is hooked up these 4 energy bridges. Now, there's a bug in the energy bridges where if you're not drawing steam out of the steam producer, it just kind of pins it all the time. So you see these are pinned. They're kind of like just accepting as much power as they possibly can accept and outputting as much steam as they can possibly output. Now, the funny thing is that each one of these steam tesseracts, or steam boilers, pardon me, outputs around 14, that's like 350, so that's like 1,600. I can't remember what the tops do. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of around 2,000 millibuckets. So each one of these is near around 2,000 millibuckets. And it's not sustained. So once the steam gets down to a certain point, it won't sustainedly output that much steam. But in bursts, it will. It'll output huge amounts of steam, right around 2,000 millibuckets. These produce 2,200 millibuckets per energy bridge. So each one of these is worth about one of these. So they're kind of silly. It's kind of silly. But anyway, and these are what's causing the issue. And so we're going to try using some energy bridges instead. And instead of using all of this, we're just going to try to use 4 of these. Now, we want to try to eliminate as much lag as is possible. So we're going to configure these a little bit differently. We're only going to use 2 ultimate hybrids per, and we're gonna do this so that we can get an even draw from each ultimate hybrid. We'll add a little T. Oh, that's wrong. Come on, homie, come back. We'll add a little T onto each one like so, and we'll come over to the other side like so. Bam, 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 and let's go ahead and add these on 2 per. Bam, bam. Perfect. Bam, bam, perfect. This is going well. Bam, bam, 75% done. Bam, bam, 100% done. All right, so now we're going to get, hopefully, an even power draw from each side. Looks like we're evenly drawing all of the powers. See, we're not seeing one of them being utilized more than the other, which is what we want. And then if we take a look down here, again, we're seeing these that are basically, they're pinned. So you can see we're getting that 1,000 EU in. It's just drawing as much as is possible. So we're getting that 1,000 EU in, and we should be good to go. And I just left this one guy up here to make some all, but we don't need that guy anymore. And we don't need any of these anymore either. So all of this needs to go away. And that's way uneven. This is not going to do it. Maybe we'll add a 5th one just for giggles. Is it even at least this way? All right, phew. So at least that way it's even. Maybe we'll add a 5th one. Well, then it will be even. Yeah, it will be. So let me see. Do I have all stuff? I have nothing. So maybe we'll add a 5th one here. And we'll set this up. And then maybe we can do something aesthetic with it to make it look a little bit better. But at this time, I thought it would be cool. We're going to tear this down. And I thought we would do it in one of them cool, you know, speedy up bits. Alright, so everything's torn down. Just got our one little sad... what's it called? I'm having a super brain fart. Chunk loader. I don't even know what was going on in my brain just then. Our one little sad chunk loader. I brought energy tesseracts, but I didn't bring any liquid tesseracts, did I? So, yeah, alright. Let's go ahead and head back to the base. We got it all torn down. It was actually quite a thing. It was quite an ordeal. Took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to do that. Let's get just the one liquid tesseract. Let's get one. Look how many tesseracts I have. 155. Oh, silly. So we'll get the one liquid tesseract, and the other thing that's kind of silly that we're doing is we're making steam here, and then we're bringing it to the base through a liquid tesseract, which is lossless, so that's fine. But then we're converting it at the base into BCs. Why not just set something up here that makes BCs? That's going to be a lot easier. So we want a steam producer, bam, and we'll set that here so we can get this evened out. And energy bridge and HV consumer, bam, and some cables. So we'll still have our gross overproduction of steam. So we won't have that many. Ultimate hybrids to make BCs. I wonder. We don't really have any way to make additional ultimate hybrids. So I'm thinking maybe we could do 3 on each side, energy tesseracts like this. And then we'll do BC producers, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these guys. So we'll get our BC production rate through like this. Oh, before I forget, steam, send. All right. So we'll get these onto send BCs like so. You on there? Like so, like so. Almost. Perfect. So then we'll get bridges in here as well. Whoa, whoa. And we want the HV, we'll just make these all into consumers. Like so. Alright. Now we'll add cabling to the top here. And drop a multi-hybrid on each one. Bam! So now we're seeing HV going in. No BCs are being consumed. So are any of these making any BCs now? Because I already have this working with steam back at the base. All right, so we're making some BCs right there. So the next part we got to do in order to kind of initiate the entire system is tear down the old and busted. The old and busted. We got the new hotness, no old and busted. And hopefully this will even move a little bit of processing CPU usage away, or pardon me, client side usage away from the 1.8, because we have a little bit of frame rate lag here. So anything I can move away, I'm going to end up building more stuff here anyway, but anything I can move away is helpful. So I don't really notice, I can feel the frame lag. I think that might not translate in the video. I don't really notice any frame rate, increased frame rate just from removing those. So they're not really probably our main problem. So, but we want to make sure the system's all working correctly. So let's head over and take a look and see what's going on here. Just want to see how these energy tesseracts are working. So it looks like we only need 3 of these, but we have 6. So that's good. We want to have an overproduction of these. Because it is an essential power source. So if we add on stuff, I know we're late in the season, but if we add stuff onto the base, we want to make sure that we have what we need. So these are still just pinned, and at this time, we're not using any of this steam. So it's not that it's getting wasted. I mean, it's just free. It's from the sun. So the sun's making the energy, and it's just getting it's not getting utilized. And from my understanding of this bug, once it gets utilized, if we start using more steam, it won't just create it forever like this. But yeah, so we want to do this, and then we want to aesthetically make it more purtier. So we're going to need to get some building blocks, put some stuff away, but at the very least now we have something that's working, and hopefully is creating a little less lag on the server. And this is what we came up with. So pretty cool design. You may have noticed it. You may recognize it from such 1/8s as all of the 1/8s. So yeah, it's working good, looks good, everything's good. I was thinking about, I think I was talking about making, so you can see these guys aren't even getting used. I think I only need like 3 of these. But just in case, you can see that one's not even being used. So we're making, what is that, right around 200, flipping out. This one's spiking up to about another 200. Oh, wait, no, pardon me. That's the EU's in. Sorry. So we're making around 80, and then this is spiking to around 80. So about 160 EU per tick is what we're currently using. Now, I really wanted to, and I hinted at the fact, I can't get out, that I wanted to use meat for power. Unfortunately, we're not going to. And the reason that we're not going to do it is because it's just going to cause too much stress on the server, in my opinion. So this is the biogas engine right here, and meat will produce 5,000 basically MJ at 1 MJ per tick, which is like ridiculous. We need 160 MJ per tick. So we would need 160 of these engines, biogas engines. So that's ridiculous. And then we could do it in an EU generator, but if I remember correctly, the last time I checked, the conversion rate on EU to MJ is 2.44. So it was 2.44 EU for every 1 MJ. So this will produce 10 EU per tick divided by 2.44. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of around, what is that, 3 MJ, 3.5 MJ per tick. And it does it for 6,000 EU, which is somewhere in the neighborhood of, what would that be, 2,800 total MJ. So in a biogas engine, it'll give me 5,000 MJ. If I use the generators and an energy bridge, it'll give me 2,800 total MJ, but faster. It'll produce it faster, which is kind of seems to be the case anytime you do a conversion or a fuel that works for MJ and EU. Even lava's that way. Lava, if you're producing EU with it, it does it faster, but it's wasteful of the lava. Magmatics take more advantage of the lava, and they're not as wasteful, but the power generates more slowly. The point being is, wow, I'm talking really fast, but the point being is that we would have to create, a redonkulous amount. We would need, I just did it in my head really quick, and then I forgot. How many generators? I said we would need 160 biogas engines divided by 2.44, so like, what is that, 90 generators or 80 generators at least, and it's just too much stress on the server. We just can't do it, and it really makes me super sad because I want to use meat to power my base. I want to use meat to power my base, guys. But I can't, so we're not going to. But one of the other things that's been going on I want to talk to you guys about is that we're having some issues with storage. So I came here the other day, or yeah, pardon me, actually, when I was working, and my system was full. It was full. It was all full of stuff. And I was checking down through what it was full of, and what it was full of was, you can't see it right now. Okay, these things right here. So I have skellies spawning in the under 1.8. I don't have them now. Right now I have cows going, and I want to fill this tank up with meat. We're so close to almost all the meat. What up, guys? Make me the meat god. So, but we spawn skellies into here, and those are dropping all sorts of different stuff into the ME system, or were chest plates, all sorts of mumbo jumbo. So what I did is I just hooked this trash can up and put a fuzzy export bus on it with ignore damage and dropped a bunch of stuff in it. Now I'm going to remove all this because I wanted to get the system working so I could use it, but now I actually want it to fill up because one of the projects we'll take on in the future is we'll set up the trash can for permanent. I'm not going to use the items. I know DMAC was recycling them, which is a really cool project, but I just don't feel like we need to do that. I just want to just chuck them. So, but we will set something up eventually that throws all these items away, but I need to get all of them in the inventory so that I know exactly what I need. There were like thousands and thousands of bows in here. It was crazy. But yeah, we got some other things too. We got 1 million cobble. We got 5 million leather. We got a lot of honey drops, a lot of dirt. And these things are filling up. And I've never really used deep storage. I mean, I have used it, but not very often. I don't think I have this in the system yet. No, I don't. So we haven't really ever used deep storage, and I believe all of those things are in here. So our Mac's getting full too. So I thought today we'd set up some deep storage. Let's craft 20, and I think it would be really good to take the strain off of the system here. Am I not be able to make something? Oh, it's actually crafting the unattuned tesseracts. That stinks. So what I want to do, the plan is to take a bunch of the highest items, a bunch of the items that we have a ton of, and probably, what is this, is it 9? 3, 6, 9, yeah, 10. Probably these 2 rows at least, maybe just 18 things, and set them up in deep store. And then I also want to take some of the I also want to take some of the stuff like royal jelly and pollen from the bee stuff, and over at the 1.8.buzz, I want to go ahead and set them up in here somewhere, get some deep storage in this area too. And I might actually hide it in here. There's not a ton of room, and I kind of like how things are filled up around this area. So I'll probably I ended up running out of force, and this thing's finally working. That's cool. And we're getting some of the saplings. Is there a reason why? Oh, it must just plant from the back. So we'll probably end up putting the deep stores for the bee stuff. I don't know where. I'd love to be able to see it, but at the same time, there isn't really a good spot. Maybe. No, I don't know. We'll think of something. But anyway, that's what I want to set up. But for now, I have to wait for these unattuned tesseracts to build up. And then I'm also going to get some crafting monitors, or some item monitors. Pardon me. What are they called? These guys right here, ME storage monitors. We're going to probably need another few of those as well. So I'm going to make that stuff and be right back. Oh, that was a so. So I got everything set up. And what we're doing here is we have our deep stores with some crafting storage monitors on top. And then what I end up having to do is set each one. If you've never used these before, if you use these, you know what's going on. But if you haven't, I had to set each one to in on the north side because we're facing north in this direction. And then behind here, there are, you can't see, there's one right there. Oh no, I can get it. I can. So the storage buses are down inside of here. I set the priorities for 64 in each one. I just set it because it's a single. I could set it for 10. I believe anything above 1 should work. And then I had to use export buses on the back to get the items in. But I figured, I don't know. I figured I'd just leave them. I don't know if those are looping. I feel like they're not causing any sort of a loop. But actually, you know what? To be honest with you, I was like, I could just leave them on there. But I think it would probably be best if I remove them for safety's sake. Because I don't want, basically what I don't want to have happen is any sort of item loop, which I can't tell if it's looping, but it sounds in my mind like it could. I mean, the items are inside the storage bus, and then I'm telling it to export them back in, or inside the deep store, and I'm telling it to export them back into the deep store, which is pretty silly. So get that up on top of there like that. And then do I have facades? So let's get these facades off. Like so. And then this is going to be interesting. If I can get it the right angle. I don't want to break those deep stores. That would be super bad. Super not cool. But this has taken a huge amount of strain off of the system. The amount of strain that's taken off the system because of this, and me getting rid of those superfluous items from the skelly drops is insane. So it's really going to be a huge help in the system. So I need to grab some abyssal stone as well. Bam! And then something else I wanted to show you that was kind of neat that I didn't know. The crafting monitors, you know how the ME cabling, you can change the color of it. Well, that's so you can kind of set up some, different systems and the wires won't interact. What I didn't know is that the ME storage monitor actually, see how the corners are blue? It as well will change colors. So I didn't really know that. I had no idea that that was a thing. And then if you break it, it changes back. So it's not like cabling in that it maintains its color. But it is pretty interesting that you can change the color of them. So you can see all those ones I changed the color of. And I was looking at lighting and upper light sources, and if you see I turned my helm off, my night vision off, those actually do provide light as well. I think it looks neat. It's a nice little spot for it. It's not as cool as the old lava tank was. Slip, it's not as cool as lava tank, man. But also back at the 1.8, oh, let's get night vision, at the 1.8.buzz. Over here, oh, wow, we're really using up a lot of nut dew. So hold on a second. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, do I really only have... All right, so I set up these crafting monitors here, and I didn't color them. You can see that they're still blue. And then down in this area is where I set up the deep store. So let me take a look at... So the nut dew... Oh, okay. That's what I did wrong. So I have everything set up over there, and I wasn't seeing that we're showing any nut dew in here, and that's because those aren't all hooked up correctly. So let's go ahead and get a cable. Bam! And head down. And this should change rather drastically. Bam! Now it's like, as it all updates. But should be able to see now. More nut dew. There we go. So it looks like it's still moving some of the stuff into the system. We can't really see what's happening. You could probably see down here. So if we take a look here. See, right there we are seeing it looping. See? That is looping. But this is still filling up. Some of these are still filling up. But that guy's definitely causing a loop. So it's a good thing that we moved those export buses off of there. So we've taken a huge amount of strain off the system. Really, really cool. And really glad we did it. We did a couple of things today to help lag on the server. It was like the lag police. The lag police, Slipgator's lag police thingy doodler, I don't know, happened. But yeah, so it's cool. It doesn't matter, regardless. It's cool. New power system, new power gen, and new lag-free storage, or making sure that we have extra storage. Look at all that. Look at all that green. So yeah, if you liked the video, please don't forget to hit the like button. Please feel free to share and favorite it as you see fit. Don't spam it on Reddit. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.